Welcome back to LSPDFR 101. Today we're going to be going over a mass plugin install. Basically, this will be split into two parts, your base plugins and then a bunch of optional ones, but I do recommend them. Makes the game a lot more realistic. So first thing we're going to install is OpenIV. Right now, they don't have a website for this anymore. The reason why, I believe, is because they got shut down. But you're just going to scroll down to here and install the offline version, because the online versions will try to use the website. After that, we have ELS. This is your base plugin for all your lights. Next up is your better ELS reflections. This makes it so it bounces off the walls better. Here we got automatic siren cutout. This makes it so basically whenever you get out of the car, your sirens will cut out, and so will random PEDs or your backup. After that, we have ClearTheWayV. Basically, this makes it so the cars, when you have your sirens on, they will move out of the way better. After that, we have Stop the PED. Basically, this just gives a better, what to do is in searching and all that. After that, we have CompuLite. Basically, this allows you to give a arrest report and see what arrest reports were valid and stuff. After that, we have realistic charges and citations. Basically, this just adds a bunch of charges that you can go against someone. After that, we have grammar police. Basically, this allows you to talk into your mic, say your call sign, and say if you're 10-8 or something. After that, we have radio realism alpha. Basically, this just gives you more things that you hear. It makes the radio in game better. After that, we have radio realism FR. This basically just does the same thing as before, but adds a lot more to the game. After that, we have ALPR Lite. Basically, this will scan everybody's license plates, make sure that their registration or license is expired or not. After that, we have his LiDAR gun. Basically, this just tells you the speed of somebody, and you can go into key modes and all that. After that, we have speed radar light. Basically, if you're in a car, you can just activate this, and it'll use certain radars on the car, so you can pick the front, left, right, or back, or all. Next up is ultimate backup. Basically, this gives you the option to use code 2 or code 3 backup, whether it be stay, local, SWAT, or noose. And then this also gives you the option to get a K9 partner and a regular partner. After that, we have heli assistance. Basically, you can call a custom heli and you can give them certain lights and stuff for you to use. After that, we have realistic search. Basically, this allows you to search a car and a human, and it adds better things that you can search for. After that, we have call out interface. Basically, this gives you a newer thing. So when you're an actual cop in your car, you have a laptop, and this is what some of theirs look like. This will show up on the bottom right of your screen, and it'll show your postal and what your status is. After that, we have custom pullover. Basically, this allows you to be able to tell a guy to move to a custom location, or to mimic you or follow you. After that, we have PLD, player location display. Basically, this tells you where you are on that map. It'll tell street name or which way you're facing. After that, we open open interiors. Some callouts will be in some of these interiors. Basically, anywhere that's in the story mode or online, you can walk inside of. So we're also going to download Spotlight for our heli assistance and just for the Spotlight function. Before we do anything with plugins, we're going to change a couple of things inside of our LSPDFR.ini file. So you're going to go to your GTA main game directory. If you don't know where that is, you're going to go to List PC, Windows, Program Files, Steam, Steam Apps, Common, and Grand Theft Auto. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to go into LSPDFR, and then you're going to go into your keys.ini. Just going to go to your top. You're going to change this one to none, and we're going to change perform arrest to a capital I, and then we're going to change stop PEDs to a capital I. After that, we're going to change the chase abort join key to a none, and then chase abort join controller key to none. After that, we're going to change the traffic stop controller key to none, and then we're going to change the traffic stop interact key to an I, and change this to none. After that, we're going to change the toggle please computer controller key to none. And then we're going to change the backup menu controller key to none. That is it for your keys.ini file. You can just go up here, right click and click save. Close out of that, and then next we're going to go into your LSPDFR.ini. So now we're here, we're going to change the main preload all models to false. Next we're going to change this ambition disable player flashlight override to true. Basically this is going to allow our stop the pet flashlight to be in the game. Next we're going to change disable escape suspect counter to true. After that, we're going to change chase.disable camera focus to true, because when you're in LSPDFR, when you see someone in a pursuit, it'll weirdly zoom in your camera. You're going to want to make sure that is off. After that, we're just going to scroll down here, and that is it for this .ini file. Now we can just close that, save, and we can just close all this. Now we're going to get into our plugins. So our first plugin is our OpenIV setup. So we're just going to throw this right here. And this you'll want to put on your desktop. Drag and drop. You can close this out now, and you're just going to open this. You're going to choose your language. Now that we're here, you can read through the agreements and just click I accept the terms and agreements, and then click continue. Next, you're going to want to, you can click run OpenIV after installation, because we'll have to do a couple things. And this is just your normal installation. You don't have to mess with this unless you're downloading it to a separate computer. Next up, you're going to click continue, and it'll start the install. Now that OpenIV is completed successfully, we're going to click close, and then it should run it. And then this is used for all GTA and Red Dead and stuff, but we're just going to use it for GTA 5, so you're going to click Windows. Next, it's going to want to know where your GTA 5 is, so you're going to click the browse, and it most likely will automatically take you to a folder, but if it doesn't, you're just going to go to list PC, Windows, program files 86, just go down to Steam, Steam apps, common, Grand Theft Auto 5, and you can just click that once, and then click select folder, and it should tell you successful GTA 5 has been, you can work with this, blah blah blah. You should click continue. Now, we will show you how to back up your original game files before any of this. You don't have to worry about OpenIV. So now that we're here, we're going to go up to the OpenIV thing right here. You're just going to click on it, click OpenIV options. Next, we're going to go up to default work mode. You're going to click on that and click edit. You'll close, and you see this up here. You're just going to click edit mode. It's going to ask you this when you go into edit mode. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to your tools, ASI manager, and you're going to install all three of these. If this one says installed, that's alright. It normally does install with OpenIV. You should install this, and you can set it up so you can only edit in mods folder, but I use more than just the mods folder, but I do suggest just leaving this blank. Next up, you're going to install open camera, and you're going to click close. Now there's one more thing we have to do before doing anything else. We're just going to go to our GTA 5 main game directory. So now that we're here, as you can see, you have your mods folder, but we're just going to highlight update the x64, and we're going to right click and drag, let go, and you're going to click copy here. Now this will take a minute since the update and x64 folder is a pretty big set of folders. Now that is done, we're going to just put this to the side, and then we'll open up our ELS one first. So we're going to go into installation files, Grand Theft Auto. Now we're just going to select everything and just drag and drop in there. Next up, we will install Better ELS. Basically, this is a very simple one. If you want brighter, you can go brighter. I like just main. And then when you're here, if you do brighter, you'll just do brighter plus brighter takedowns. For main, you're going to do main with higher range plus brighter takedowns. And you're just going to drag and drop in here. And now it's going to say replace file. You will just click replace file. Next up, we have automatic Siren Cutout. So you're just going to go to GTA 5. You're just going to pick both these files, drag and drop. Next up will be ClearTheWayV. Basically, you're going to go into your plugins folder, and you're just going to drag and drop. Next up will be your stop the ped. You're going to go into stop the ped folder, and you're going to want to go back to your GTA 5 main game directory, and you're just going to drag and drop this plugins folder. Now we do not need the raging of UI.dll because we already have the latest update date one. Next up will be CompuLite. So you're just going to go into the CompuLite folder, and you're just going to drag and drop this folder in here. Next up is the CompuLite charge and citations. Basically, you're going to your plugins, LSPDFR, CompuLite. You're just going to drag and drop these in here. Now it's going to say replace these files. Just replace them. Next up will be your grammar police. Then you're going to go to Grand Theft Auto 5, and you're just going to go back to your GTA 5 main game directory. You're going to highlight all these other than raging of UI.dll. You're going to drag and drop. After that, we're going to go into our textures folder. Then you're just going to open up OpenIV. You're going to drag over here, and then you're going to follow this exact plugin I tell you to. In your mods, and if you do not have an x64C, you're just going to go down to here, as you can see, x64C. You're going to click on that, copy the mods folder, and then you're going to go into levels, GTA 5, props, lev_des, v_minigame, and then you're going to look up this exact thing in your search menu up here. Just prop_cs_ld_police. As you can see, there's 4. Now these are going to only replace the first one. So if you click on these, you can see this is what your police radios look like originally. So we're just going to highlight both of these, and we're going to drag and drop in there. And if you look again, now you can see they're a little cleaner. They look a lot better than before. That is it for that. Next up, we have Radio Realism Alpha. So you're going to follow these exact plugins. So you're just going to do GTA 5, LSPDFR, Audio, Scanner, Resident. And you're going to follow that same thing. So you're going to LSPDFR, Audio, Scanner, Resident. And this will replace most of these files in here. So you're just going to highlight all these and just drag and drop in there, and you're going to replace the files in that destination. And as you can see, if you just go onto any of these are your radios. As you can see, you can just dispatch intro. Those are just all your radio cues. Next up is the Officer Porky plugin. This is a really great plugin, but it's very simple. You're going to go back to your GTA 5 main game directory. You're going to highlight both of these and just drag and drop. So your first one will be ALPR Lite. You're just going to go into this folder, highlight plugins, drag and drop. Next up is LiDAR gun. You're going to make sure you want to keep OpenIV open. So we're going to go into LiDAR gun. So first we're going to GTA 5, and you're just going to highlight the plugins, drag and drop in there. Now we're going to go into vintage pistol textures. Now you're going to want to follow this exact path I tell you to. You want to go into OpenIV. You're going to go into your mods, update, x64, DLC packs, patch day 8, DLC.rpf, x64, models, CD images, and weapons.rpf. Now you're going to look up, you can either look it up or you can just search for it, but what I like to do is look it up. So w_pi_vintage, and there it is. These are going to replace the vintage pistol. Basically, the vintage pistol will turn into your LiDAR gun. So we're just going to highlight all 4 of these, and we're going to drag and drop. And as you can see, now it is your LiDAR gun. Now we're just going to close out of this. We're going to minimize that. Now we're going to go into Speed Radar Lite. We're going to go in here. We're going to highlight the plugins folder, and we're going to drag and drop in there. Ultimate Backup, you're going to go into that folder. You're going to highlight plugins, drag and drop. And it's going to ask you to replace 2 files. This is due with the backup. Already backup menu in there. This is going to help with that. We're going to go into Heli Assistance. We're going to put the Heli Assistance inside our plugins, LSPDFR folder. And we're going to highlight all 3 of these, and we're just going to drag and drop them in here. Next up is real search items. So we're going to go back to our main game directory. We're going to go into plugins, LSPDFR, stop the pad, and we're going to take these two. We're going to drag and drop, and it's going to ask to replace those files. Bring them over here. Next up is callout interface. So we're just going to go into GTA 5, and we're going to go back to our GTA 5 main game directory. Now we're here, we're going to highlight all these, and we're going to unselect callout interface and rageNAVUI.dll. We're just going to drag and drop. It's going to ask you to replace your IPT common.eol. We're going to replace that. Next up is custom pullover. We're just going to drag and drop that in here. After that, we have player location displays. We're just going to go to installation files, Grand Theft Auto. We're going to drag and drop these in here. Next up is open interiors. All we're going to do is just drag and drop these both into your main game directory. So next we're going to go into our plugins folder, highlight the Spotlight DLL and Spotlight resources, and just drag and drop. Next we're going to go to Spotlight resources, and we're going to go into general. We're going to change this editor key to none because we won't use it. Then you have all these, so you'll toggle it with I and move it with your numpad or WASD. Now next we're going to go and do some of our .ini files for GTA. The first thing is our native trainer or simple trainer. So if you just scroll down here, you'll see trainer.ini. So when you're in here, you should scroll down and you should see it right about here, the spawn A driver key. You're going to change this to 0. So it doesn't mess with your speed radar light. First thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure we're in our plugins folder and then LSPDFR folder. And we're going to mess with the .ini file for ALPR light. First thing you want to do is we're going to want to change the toggle key from F8 to F7. And that is it for that. So we're just going to right click and save and then close this. So next up we're going to mess with the callout interface .ini. So you're going to want to change the callout menu key to F10. Then you want to change the terminal key to F7. Next up, you're going to scroll down your MTT. So these first forms will stay the same. Now this will be your call sign. So this will be what you say on your dispatch, meant to dispatch. Like 1Lincoln18 means, hey, this is my call sign. So I'm going to change that to mine, which is just 7-Adam-15. Basically, you can do any number and then any word in the photonic alphabet you can use, and then any number again. Now for your MDT position X, you're going to change this to 1207. Then your MDT position Y, you're going to change this to 737. Then your MDT scale, you're going to change this to 106. And then you're going to change your MDT sound on display to 4. And then you're going to change timeout to 12. Next up is your postal. You're going to set this to be true. Then you're going to set the postal code set to virus_city. And you're going to change your postal code position X to 457. Postal code position Y to 980. And your postal code scale to 50. And that is it for callout interface. You're just going to right click this and click save and close out of it. Next up will be CompuLite. So the first thing you want to change is your open computer key to capital X. You can leave the tablet key the same, and your give citation key will also be capital X. Now these modifier keys means in order to activate these, you have to hold down left control and then whatever button you use. So for your controller users, you're going to want to change the open computer button to none, because you will use your keyboard during any traffic stops or anything. After that, you're going down to parameters. You're going to want to change the 48 hours for court case waiting time to 24, so you get them faster. Then you'll want to change this to no. It adds more realism. And that is it for CompuLite. So you're just going to right click this, save, and then you're going to close out of it. Next up, you're going to want to go into your heli assistance. Now your player name is what your player will be, so you can do Sergeant something or just Officer something. I'm going to do my name, which is Sergeant Nolan. And then you're going to want to change your unit name. You can leave this anything. What I like to do is do my call sign, but have the first two letters different to show that it is not completely my call sign. And that is it for that. So you're just gonna right click, save. You're gonna close out of that, then close out of that. Next up will be your LiDAR gun. You're gonna open up your LiDAR gun and you're gonna make numpad, the LiDAR key, numpad 7 to numpad 1. And then you're gonna change your display to 612, your position Y to 755, your scale 271, volume 25, and your HUD color 21. And the rest of it you can leave the same. You're just gonna right click, save, close, and close. Next up will be your officer port key plugin. This will be a decently big one. So your first one is display street detection notification. You want to change that to true. So after you do that, you're just going to scroll all the way down to keys, and you're just going to set this to none. And then you're going to set these to none. The only thing you want in here to be something is your enter key for clear backup animation. You're just going to right click, save, and close out of this. So next up, you're going to want to go into speed radar light, and you're going to want to change your threshold modifier key. You're just going to highlight control and type in shift. You want to type in left shift key. And if you would like to, you can change these to kilometers. I'm using just miles per hour though. Anyways, you're going to right click this, save, and close. Now, next up is a really big .ini file, is your stop the ped. So we're going to open stop the ped, and the first thing you're going to want to change is, so the first thing you want to change here, you want to change your search key to F9 and your transport key to D9. I did make a mistake in this. So your search key isn't supposed to be F19. There is no N18. There's just supposed to be F9. Next, you're just going to scroll down to your buttons. First, you're going to want to change your contacts menu key to none. Next, you're going to change your quick grab button to none. And your D-pad left button to none. Then tackle ped button will be your X key. And your sprint boost button will be A. And your search button will stay none. So next you're going to scroll down to parameters, and you're going to highlight take over all rest, and you're going to put no. So next you're going to scroll down to line 123, also known as force search result full screen. You're going to highlight this yes, and put in no. Next you're going to scroll to line 208 or realistic weapon system, and you're going to enable on startup. You're going to enter no, and you can keep all this the same. Next up, you're going to scroll down to 310, and you're going to change prisoner transport siren lights depart. You're going to change that to yes. Alright, after that, we're going to scroll all the way up, right click, save, close that, and you close out of this. Next up will be your ultimate backup. First thing you want to change here is you're going to change your menu key to U. So for parameters, you're going to go to is code to siren lights on. You're going to put in no. And that is it for ultimate backup. We're just going to right click, save, close, and close. And next up, we're going to go into our grammar police. We're going to right click this, and we're going to click copy. Right click and paste. Now the reason we do this is your default one will not, if you edit any of this, it won't do anything to your game. So you're just going to go up to your rename, and you're going to rename this custom. And we're just going to open this up. First thing first, we're going to make sure this is the same call sign as you put for anything else. You're going to always want the same call sign. Next up, we're going to go to agency codes, and we're going to go to immersive. Next up, for your interface key, you're going to change this to F8. Your settings key will be F7. And your radio key will be 0. And then you're going to change your radio modifier key to L control key. Next, you're going to change your hotkeys modifier to none, because we will not be using these. Next up, we're going to go into our display, and we're going to change these to true. And we're going to change our position X to 460. 460. And then our position Y to 898. And our text scale to 0.61. Then we're going to change our radio position to 1097. And then our radio position Y to 530. And our radio scale to 68. Now we're going to change the PTT to hold to talk to true. Then we're going to change our push sound to 8, our release sound to 4, and our prephase response to 2. So we're going to go into immersion, and we're going to change our attempt to initiate pursuit to true. Now we're going to go down to enable traffic stop and put true. Next we're going to use generic response and put that to true too. Next we're going to go to offer backup for error support, and we're going to put true. Next we're going to scroll down to the use native section, and we're going to change these two trues to false. And that is it for your grammar please. So you're going to click save and just close out of that. Then we're going to go back into our LSPDFR. Make sure you save it. And that is it for our first set of plugins. So we're just going to close out of that. Now, anytime you install a bunch of plugins, I do recommend you restart your PC. Before you open up Rage Plugin Hook, you're just going to go to your settings. Now we're going to make sure our grammar please reads our mic right. So you're just going to go down to sound. And you want to make sure your input is set, because grammar please will just use your default. And default meaning whichever one of these are checked off. My main microphone is the Fini microphone. So you're just going to make sure that it's checked and close it. So now that my PC is restarted, we're just going to go down to our taskbar, and we're going to click our Rage plugin hook and hold down left shift immediately. Now that we're here, you're going to make sure your timeout threshold is 60,000, of course. You're going to go down to plugins, load these plugins on start, and select all those, and click load all plugins on startup. Then you're just going to hit save and launch. So now that we're in GTA, we're going to show off the first set of mods that we installed. The first being ELS. You can activate ELS by just hitting J, and it'll turn your sirens on in 3 different modes. As you can see, if you hit Control P, it is paused, but you do get a menu. There are 4 total sirens we can use. They are used by number 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are just your numbers. Now, if you hold down E, you get your horn. If you hold down T, you get your first sirens, and you can get your second sirens. And if you hold down both, you get another siren. Next, we will show you how to change your corona. If you hold Alt and then tap 1, you can see your coronas change. If you turn all these to 30, they do look the best. But you do Alt 1, and then you do that for 2. Then you'll do it for 3, 4, and 5. And as you can see, the corona and the headlights do change, and the flashing. And the next plugin that we downloaded was Better ELS. As you can see, there's more reflections. You can see they bounce off the wall more. Then we have automatic siren cutout. So if I just turn a siren on right now, and I step out of my vehicle, it automatically turns it off. And if you step back in, it will keep it off. Next up will be ClearTheWayV. So let's just go on a highway to show that off. If you turn your sirens on, you can see big trucks and stuff won't move out the way, but anything else will. As you can see, they all turn to the side of the road. And like I said, big trucks won't. But like I said, they all turn. So next we're going to go over grammar police. Now with grammar police, you can do dispatch. So example, say if I'm done with a call and I want to go 10-8, I'll hold down my right Alt button and say my call sign, like 7 out of 15, show me 10-8.
Copy that. 7 Adam 15. Proceed to patrol area.
For the sake of this video, we'll go out of service though. 7 out of 15. Show me 10-6.
Copy that 7, Adam 15.
So for grammar police, the settings will be left control F7. You can see you can change your display, notifications, player status, target play. You can see all these. You can change all these settings for scales and everything. You can also change the push to talk settings. Hold to talk, change that. You can show on the car, push sound, release sound, and preface response.
15.
These are all the settings for your grammar police though. Make sure if you do change any, you just hit save configuration. If you do not want to use your mic for grammar police though, you can hit left control O and you can use any of these. You can hit left control O and you can use any of these. And to get rid of it, you just hit left control O again. We also do have player location display. That is the thing in your bottom left near your mini map. It shows you what road you're on, what county you're in, and which way you're facing. Next up is call out interface though. You can go to the menu by getting F10. You have your LSPDFR callouts, your callout interface ones, and your officer protocol plugins. Then you can go to configure settings to show all these. Your postal will be your postal is where you are in the map. I do like to use Virus City though, or you can use OCRP, but Virus City is the most accurate. If you'd like to, you can mess with these, but if you do change any of your stuff, you just want to go to the save option. You can force a call out by hitting left control F9.
Attention all units, we've got an SOS distress signal off the south coast for possible terrorist activity. Dispatch units from Fort Zancudo. Use of deadly force authorized.
As you can see, that is how you force a call out. We will get into using the call out normally though. Your terminal will be numpad 7. That is basically just to show you what it looks like. Next up, we will show you everything you can do with the traffic stop. So we're just going to pull this guy over. The button is still the same, so you just click left shift and you turn your lights on. I've signaled him to pull over. Now with LSPDFR, if you do not like the way they pull over though, you can just simply hit left control T to make them follow you. So I'll just get in front of him. Now he is following me.
Your car is the shit. So hot.
Now if you want him to stop, you just hit control T. If you would like them to mimic you, you'll just hit left control R and they'll copy you. If you want them to stop, the same button. Now if you want to just make a completely custom one, you just hit left control W and you use your mouse, your numpad to control it, and you'll hold enter. So we're going to also go over stop the ped. Another thing grammar police can do, it can do basically investigating on scene, traffic stop, anything. So we're just going to do 7 out of 15, show me in a traffic stop. You can also get a plate check. 7 out of 15, can I get a plate check? So it's going to dispatch them the plate number. He does have an expired insurance. You can also check out the owner registration by holding X, and you will have your CompuLite. So this is the vehicle that we just scanned, and this is the guy who supposedly owns that vehicle. So we're just gonna walk up to him, and then you can walk up, just press E to start talking to him, and you can ask for all documents and driver's license. We're gonna ask him for his driver's license. Daniel Evans, we already do that though. So we're just gonna go back to the car and I'm gonna show you how to give a citation. Let's just assume he did a citation. We're gonna go citation, sure, submit charges, and we're gonna walk up to him and hit left control X, and it will give him his citation. We're gonna order her to leave the vehicle to show us what else stop the ped can do. So you're gonna double tap E, and we're just gonna grab her. We're gonna push her to the side of the road. Now, if you are by a ped and you click left control T, it'll just auto grab her. But we can search her vehicle. If you go up to our vehicle, hit G, you can request a ped or vehicle check, search the vehicle. We're just gonna search the vehicle. So like a backpack with school supplies, large pile of counterfeit money, gram baggie. So since we find that, we can arrest her. So we're gonna arrest the ped.
You ain't never getting out of prison.
And that's where realistic search comes in. Normally it would show some weird things, like weird items, but we're gonna go to our police car. Now if you go to the back of the car and hit G, you will see you have certain things. You can call transport, grab traffic cones, evidence checks for narcotics, or weapon serial check. You can request tow service, call vehicle insurance, slow down traffic or stop traffic. And whenever you go on duty, before you go on duty, well, you're gonna go on duty and you're gonna enable realistic weapon system. This basically makes it so you only have your pistol and your stun gun, and if you go to the back of your car, you can grab your rifle or a shotgun. So we're gonna do a narcotics field test on the stuff we found in our car. So it's most likely cocaine, so we're gonna test it for that. Heroin? Looks like there's nothing to do with that baggie. We're still gonna hold it and put we can mark it with suspicious with the CompuLite charges and citations. So if you want to, say 7 out of 15, can I get a transport?
Assistance required in Pillbox Hill.
You can also go to the back of this vehicle. You don't have to go to the back, just make sure you're looking at it. We can go to the side of the vehicle though. 7 out of 15. Can I get a tow truck? And I'll ask for a small, or if you want a large, flatbed. We just go for small because there is only one.
Required in Pillbox Hill.
So now that we were done with this, normally we would wait for the prisoner transport and tow truck to arrive. We're just gonna get back into the video. Next up, we have ALPR light. So if you hit F7, it'll activate it and scan everybody's license plates. So expired license on this Phantom Black, which is this tow truck. Now that's all ALPR light. It'll show license expired, registration or insurance expired, and if they have a warrant or not. So in order to use LiDAR gun, you will have to disable your realistic weapon system. So just go to the back of here, disable, and you'll walk up and hit numpad 1, and you will have your vintage pistol. Now, we did mess with OpenIV, so your vintage pistol will actually be your LiDAR gun. As you can see, if you hold your left mouse button, scans all their speeds, and it will blip them, and that is LiDAR gun. So next will be speed radar light. So if you hit left control I, you can see it pops up. It's clock on everybody. Now if you want to change the threshold, which is basically when it will clock them, you're gonna hit left shift, page up or page down. As you can see, it is changing the threshold. Now you can also change the mode if you hold left control home, which is on the left control home is by insert and page down, page up, all that. You see front, rear, left, right. Next up we have ultimate backup. So if you hit U, you can see you can get towed to backup, patrol or female, police bike supervisor. You can hit code 3, you can get local, state, you can get SWAT or news, you can get ambulance, fire department, you can get fire response medic, fire response or fire, air ambulance, air SWAT. You get a partner, well, you can spawn a partner, and we just spawn them. You can change whether or not he's got a vehicle, same as players, police beat, all those. You can change how he follows you if he's got a vehicle, same handgun, same long gun. So if you just go up here and hit enter, you can see he'll be right there. Now if you don't want him to be here, you can just dismiss him and he'll walk off. Next up we have the K9. Now honestly the normal one looks really bad, so we're just gonna get Rottweiler, and you can change all this. You can spawn him, and there you go. There's the K9, and we're just gonna despawn him. That's it for ultimate backup for the menu. Now if there's a panic button in this, it'll be kind of annoying if you do somehow accidentally hit it. But if you hit right control, numpad 0, that's the panic button.
In Vinewood Hills.
So you can see it causes as much backup as in the arrow. There's one right there, one back there, one up there. Now this is where grammar police comes in. 7 out of 15, show me code 4, no further backup needed.
Attention all units.
And it'll dismiss them all. Now if you want group backup, you're going to hold right control numpad 1.
Assistance needed in Vinewood Hills.
And it recruits a group of people. 7 out of 15, show me code 4. That basically just gives every type of people. So next up we have Spotlight. So if you have I, you can move it with your numpad. As you can see, down, up. That's about it for Spotlight. So next up is if you can get Control H, you can see Heli Assistance. So you're going to go to main settings. You can change your name, heli name, or menu banner color, but I like to change it to blue. Light sky blue, I believe it was. I like to change it to medium blue. You can go under flight behavior settings, and you can change all the settings, the way it moves, all that. You can change the way it pops up in your radar. I like to make that light blue. Then your future settings is your spotlight. So you go to searchlight settings and you can change the color. So we're just going to request a heli to show you the color. So if you hit Shift H, it'll request them to your location. As you can see, that is what the spotlight looks like. So if you Control H again, future settings, searchlight settings, you can change the color of it. I like light blue because it makes it look more realistic. Anyways, that is it for this part of the showcase. The next part will be more realistic settings for like I hope you guys did like that video. Next video up will be my plugins part 2. This is for LSPDFR 101. Links will be in the description for all things I downloaded. Part 2 will have more realism to the game. Anyways, I hope you did like this, of course, and I will see y'all in the next LSPDFR 101.
Yeah.
I
I get out of my bed, I keep lying in my head, telling myself that I wish I was dead, but I know damn well that ain't true. I just wanna be numb to the pain and to the truth. I don't even know you anymore. Who? Myself. Put my feelings on a shelf so high I can't reach. I don't even know what to seek.